Okay. This is really great to be able to have you back on after such a long time. How's it been, John John?
Yeah. It's going, man. Pretty good. Some ups, some downs, and different changes. But it's going pretty cool. Pretty good.
Yeah, I know that especially for you guys in the music industry, we've had quite a number of um, sad passings over the last recent months. And
Yeah.
how's that been for you? I'm sure
Yeah.
you've known most of these people in as recording artists.
It's pretty heavy, and I never got a chance to meet the guy, the brother, D'Angelo. But I remember, see, when D'Angelo was first dropping between 94 and 95, it was basically fresh from our group, like disbanding when we broke up. So, but
Mm.
when D'Angelo came in with his album, it was so refreshing. I call it a combination of R&B and neo soul, because it was the way that he sung his song. His voice was so soulful, soulful R&B sound. An incredible sound, man. As a matter of fact, even when I first got started in doing my solo project stuff, I actually did a song on my album. It's an incredible record. It's called Issues, and it's that same like tempo as his Untitled. How does it feel? A great record. I'm thinking. I just talked to my writer Derek and one of the producers Jeff Brown. We just talked the other day about trying to mash the two together for a different live performance for myself. So it's pretty cool, man.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
As we're talking, so we are live. So Michael Drake, welcome. Welcome. Derek Minneapolis, welcome. I'm here with John from Troop. Yes, as you know, what John, we've spoken recently about some of the sort of Malcolm-Jamal Warner, Angie Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean even we had Howard T, who was out as a producer as well. I
Which
mean,
Steve, which my man Steve Russell, not to cut you off, my man Steve Russell had been talking to Malcolm Jamal Warner like around the time of our single "I'm Not Soup," and he was talking to Steve about trying to go ahead to direct the video. So that would have been pretty cool
oh,
to have Malcolm Jamal Warner to direct "I'm Not Soup." That would have been pretty cool. They
okay,
did talk about it, so that was pretty cool.
especially as he did such an amazing job with any heartbreaking.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Michael Drake is saying that you said Troop were working on new music. Was that still the case?
Uh, it's like is
You
Troop working
guys,
on new music?
yeah.
We're doing all kind of stuff, man. We're in talks of trying to, see what we can do as far as like maybe another single. We'll see. Right now, our single that we're still working on right now is "Lady of My Life," the tribute to Michael.
Okay, okay, okay.
We're still
Realist.
doing things with that.
Did you guys shoot a video for it?
Yeah, we shot a video for it. Parts of it was up in Oakland, California. When we were doing the show with Boys to Men, we used part of the audience out there, and
Wow.
we merged the both of the videos that Alan and Steve had did to the performance that we shot up in Oakland,
Okay.
and merged them both together. It came out pretty cool. It's a cool
Yeah.
video. It's really nice.
Because I saw
Yeah,
the original one that Steven didn't that, but I didn't know that.
yeah.
Did you did a new video to incorporate the rest of
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Also with touring, so it's yourself, Steve, Ali, but is it
Hmm.
just is that does that flip between just the three of you now, or do all
Rodney
four of
is
you go?
three of us for right now. Rodney is maintaining his family life, working on his on his solo venture and stuff. So he's kind of tied up right now. But he'll be back.
Okay,
He'll be back.
okay, okay. Yeah, and I think I saw you and Ronnie in a video together. You featured on one of his singles.
Yeah, he featured me on his song Brandy, a tribute to the OJs. Rodney's been singing that song
Okay.
for he's been singing that song for years. He's always sung that song. So when I first heard it, I thought about us being on the tour bus because he used to sing it way back then when we would be on the road, on our tour bus. And he was singing Brandy all the time. Yeah. So it made sense. Cool.
but it sounds is it like country, or is it like a
Well,
country track?
if you think well, if you listen to the OJ's version, it kind of is. It's kind of it's musically R&B ish, but when the way that the track, the tempo of it, and the way how the music is being produced, even how Walter is even singing it, it's kind of it gives it that type of country feel. It
Okay. I just recently interviewed Eddie Levert's senior from the
dad,
OJs.
yeah, that's dad, man,
He's
that's dad,
80 and still trying and still making music.
and
And he
still
says, look,
touring, and yeah, yeah,
it's still so. He says, if you retire, you die. So what's the point? So he needs to continue making
that's the
music and
truth.
touring and
Yeah,
and bringing life.
yeah.
It, yeah, but I mean, how do you guys see the way the music industry is, not music and trying to get it the streams or something, but also touring when you have big companies like Live Aid, AEG locking up all the venues and stuff. What's been the as a recording artist after all these years?
It's funny because sometimes they pull on us to come and do some of those big venues every now and then. But all of them are not sold up. There are promoters all over the place, and they're calling on artists. There's a missing in R&B music today, and like our genre of R&B, such as Drew Hill, Boys to Men, Silk, Jodeci, 112, all of us, we're like the remaining last R&B singers of to still give people good memory in R&B music. So a lot of people are missing that. So these promoters, they call on us every now and then to come and do these concerts. I guess what it is that it's not such of a good thing that they're liking the new R&B type style of music. So they're
Mm.
reaching back, and everybody is being able to work to come out and at least do concerts every now and then.
Yeah, but then you start off by mentioning that you have the "Lady in My Life" single that you're still trying to push.
Yeah,
How do you guys try and get that public out there? Because there's so back in the day, it was you make a video, you get lots of radio play, and it gets pushed. So it was controlled, and the labels sort of make sure they try and push it as much as they can. Now that radio, I don't even know. I mean, they still probably get big labels pushing music for them, but then there's so much competition to get on airspace because people can release at any time. How do you guys
yeah.
find that at all?
Um, just taking a new song that we've recorded and putting it into our show. We've been promoting it that way to let people know that we do have new material. Um, because you have to do that to let them know that you still have your chops and you can still do new R&B music as well. So that's how we've been promoting our stuff. Of one of our new songs, we've always put like one of our new songs into the show, and they
Mhm.
love it. That's the really cool thing about it. They're ecstatic that we have new material and that we still have the sound that we have. As far as radio goes, it's kind of hard. If we had our own type of way of having our own money, because at the end of the day, they have to play it if you pay them. They're not telling you that, but at the end of the day, if you're sitting down with a every company has a finance department. And if you sit down with that finance department and you pay that finance department your money, they have to promote your product. That's just what it is.
And
Without
the
the
same with
money,
the
then it's not going
the
to go
same with
anywhere.
the radio as well.
Everywhere. It's called advertisement. You have to pay for advertisement.
Yeah, but the radio
There's a
used to
price to be
play.
famous.
Yeah, the radio used to play songs because people like to hear it, and
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, okay. So now it's so. I mean, they've always not really officially mentioned payola, so it's like pay to play. But that's, I guess, that's where we are now. Is that if you want stuff to be played on the radio, you've got to pay for advertising. Indirectly means you're
Yeah,
pouring
yeah.
money.
You have to. You have to. You can look at it this way, where there's radio stations that move from one part of the city to the bigger city. What does that? That's money. You can only
Mhm.
move when you have money. You can only be in the ghetto for so long, but once you have the money to be able to move, you can be able to move. And the only thing that causes that for that to happen is money. And it has to come from somewhere.
Mhm. Yeah. We w- um, we've noticed that a lot of artists who came out in the late '80s were negotiating to get ownership of their masters. Is
Hmm.
Troop involved with that as well?
Not we've been there's talks, and we've had people to sit down with us to try to make some things happen for us. But time will tell when it will happen. We can only pray that we're able to go ahead, to get our masters to do what we need to do.
Is it because I guess trying to understand the process, is it as different how they deal with it, or is it a certain amount of time passes by when you can then say, okay, it's time to return it back? I thought it was like 35 years, or is there no real process?
I'm quite sure there's a process, and everybody has their processing of how they do it and the time when everything has to be turned over back to the artist. There's a timing
Mhm.
on that. There's there's negotiations. There's lawyers to sit down to have those
Mhm.
conversations with the lawyers from the record companies, to be able to have
Mhm.
the artist to be taken care of. So there's a lot of paperwork involved, a lot of red tape. So um, it's possible, but all of that needs to take place. You have to have the paperwork being right. You have to have the right team and being able to make sure that everybody is happy. And that it takes a while for that to
Mhm.
happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and as I said, I heard it's different from each group. I know, intro we're talking about. um, that they could get their masters back, but then Atlantic spoke to them about, okay, if we hold on to it for another maybe year or two, we can you know release some vinyls and do different deals. So, and I think in one group the and I want to say I think it was Guy. I was told that they were getting their masters for the debut album, but that also MCA were giving them both the debut and the future. Um,
Yeah.
and it was a case where the four sort of Timmy, Teddy, and Aaron would get the masters for the Guy album, but the Damien will also get a piece of that. Plus, Timmy will get a piece of the future album. So it was the two albums for the four of them, which
Kind of, kind
is
of, well, to me, kind of weird. I love Damon. It's my brother. Kind of weird that he would get
yeah.
a piece of the first album when his picture's not on the first album. Your picture needs to be
So
on that
that was
album to be
yeah.
able to, unless some paperwork has been like, written up or whatever. Other than that, that's confusing to me.
Yeah, I think what Timmy was saying is that they wanted to give them the two albums, and so Timmy will get part of the future, even though he wasn't
Uh-huh.
featured on there. So it was lumped in
That
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 way,
well,
and
yeah, that's confusing too because Timmy wasn't on the second album.
he was on the
So
second album.
it's
So yeah, so that
it's
was what
kind of confusing.
MC. So
I don't know. That would
yeah,
all have to be in the
yeah,
paperwork and the paper writing and all of that. What's the I's that are dotted, the T's that are crossed, explanation
yeah.
points, whatever that is. Then yeah, then it would be for the both. I mean, I don't know. That's for them to go ahead to work out.
Mhm.
For them to solve. Everybody goes through the industry different. Nobody is the same. I mean, maybe some of the same things happen to certain artists, but how this paperwork is divided, it's different. And if that's the way that they're doing it,
Mhm.
then that's pretty cool too, because um the success of it is Guy, whether it was the four of them or just three of them. There were three
Mhm.
Guy albums, so uh if that's the way that they're doing it, that's great. I mean, that's wonderful. I mean, that's pretty cool that
Yeah, I mean,
that 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 Damon gets a part of, you know, he gets a part of the first record. Timmy gets a part of the second record. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm happy
yeah.
for
Well,
them for that.
yes,
I'm happy for
yeah.
them for
I know
that. That
Timmy
it's
when
all Guy. It's all Guy.
he,
It's Guy.
yeah, I know he wasn't too happy. He wasn't too clean on it, but I guess it's it. But he said that's part of the negotiations because some labels are negotiating in different ways, and so
Hmm.
hence you mentioned that for you guys, it's when your time comes that what they present to you guys and having the four of you plus um, being able to be on the same page and stuff. I mean, outside of that, what have you been listening to when it comes to new music? And I know that you and Rodney are putting out new stuff, but are there other artists that you've been interested in and listening to?
Um, I have to be honest. I'm more into my old school, man. Of course, when I say to me when I say new, I'm talking about people like Usher, Chris Brown. Got Bryson Tiller. You got Jason Derulo. You got
It's Jason
even
Derulo.
my guy Weekend. You got the Weekend. You have
Is he still releasing music? I didn't realize he was still making music.
yeah, I think not right now, but just his music catalog. Um, those guys, yeah, I like those guys. Play their music all the time. But the new R&B is almost like you're going through a forest. You're going through a big forest, a lot of trees, and you're
Hmm.
trying to find your way through. You're going through, and all of a sudden you find this one tree. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's so and so. I'm gonna check that one out. But then you going, it's like, oh no, I can deal with that one. So it's not like
Hmm.
how it used to be, how you had the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, where pretty much everybody who you ran into were good. Everybody was great.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's not happening now. You have to search and figure out who's good and who's not. You know, LMA is great. She's awesome. Scissor, she's dope. But I can't name anybody else that's kind of new that I listen to, you know.
Yeah. But
When
but
you
I
go
do
back,
wonder.
when you go back, it's like your playlist is endless.
Mm, I do wonder what is the point of being a recording artist in 2025? Because if you people say, well, go independent, so you can record your music, shoot your videos, control your output, but you're up against millions of people doing the same. So how then it's a
Yeah,
big job trying to build your audience. Um, but then if you are signed to a label, for them to say, look, we're not getting money selling records, and the streams, even if you get a million streams, it's probably like $200 or so. So we're not going to make it on the stream. So we do the 360, which means we will own your likeness and image. We'll do merchandise. We take a piece of your touring. That's how Live Nation came about, and your
terrible, terrible.
branding. So anything that you do, we own. And it's like, when you think of Troop, if you Troop was to come out now and you sign a deal which says not only the money you make from your music, but the money you make from your tours, merchandise, that because we're investing in you, we need to make sure we recoup it from that way. Or back in the day when you had Sylvia Rome um, pushing your album and that kind of creativity, what would you, if you had a choice now to redo it, where would you take?
Well, we definitely wouldn't take a 360 deal. We wouldn't definitely we would That's a no-no. Um that's a no-no. Like we wouldn't take that deal. We wouldn't
Okay.
take it. We wouldn't. And now if they were giving us millions and billions of dollars on top of that, if you give me the $1 billion, if you make me a billionaire, if you make me a billionaire, yeah, you can take my likeness and all of that. As long as you make me a billionaire, I mean, go right ahead. Take whatever you want. You make me a billionaire where I'm able to take care of myself and take care of my family, not a problem. But they're not going to do that. So no, we're not going to accept that deal. No, no 360s. No 360s.
Yeah, but when you think of the deals that you guys signed, whether it's with Busted or with Electra, I mean, shady deals are always there, and
Yeah.
it was the scorn of the music industry, especially our night R&B,
Hmm.
that everybody got taken advantage of, and at least now they're explaining, look, we're taking all of this stuff, and you get your
Yeah.
pay, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's more in your face nowadays.
Yeah, but at least you know going when you're signing up, you know what you're signing up for. Back then, you
Hmm.
guys can't really honestly say that you knew the music business
Didn't know.
from the time when you guys
Yeah,
first came out.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't know.
Yes. Before I forget, we lost Tito Jackson, and you knew him and the family.
Oh, yeah, very hurtful. Tito was the first one that we met. We met
Wow.
Tito back in 1985,
Hmm.
85, maybe early. It could be early 86. Could be. I want to say, I think that we already had our deal when we met Tito.
Hmm.
We got our deal in 86. So
Wow.
it was around that time. And he gave us the victory tour, um, books, gave us those. We hung out with him at his studio in Encino,
Hmm.
um, played him some demos. And he said he was going to go back and brag to the family and say, heard these new guys, they getting ready to come out. They're bad. So yeah, he went back and told the family about us. Yeah, we met Tito first, man. Tito was the first guy that we met. We met him through Pickford, through the guy from Surface, the one who plays the flute in the group
Mm,
Surface.
mm, mm,
We met him through him. Yeah, he took us over Tito's house.
mm. I'm sure that
Yeah,
must have been for you guys who are Michael fans and Jackson fans. That must have
big
been.
time, big time. Yeah, that was the start of it all, man.
I saw a video. I don't know. Did you? I don't know. I saw a video. The Jacksons, Marlon and Jermaine, not Jermaine, Jackie were walking, and they called you over, and I think somebody,
Yeah, that was huh.
and I think some lady
That
was
that
trying.
was
Yeah, go ahead.
some lady. I don't know what. I don't know if it was a lady or I don't know what it was. All I know
So,
is I turned around and security had her hemmed up in a some type of chokehold that I've never seen in my life. And I was so mind blown. I was like, wow, this is really happening. And this still happens to these brothers. After all of these years, people are still chasing these guys down. That the Jacksons, they were just that type of magical family that the fans just loved. But I got a chance to experience to watch that happen and how she got gaffled. It was it was wow. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing.
goodness.
Yeah,
I
it
there
was
there was
amazing.
a couple of there was a clip that went viral that Beyonce Jay Z was saying that Beyonce has has now surpassed Michael. That that's how it is. The new generation will always surpass the old. That all he did was the moonwalk, but she played Coachella and stuff, and it was really strange to see. I think what upset me most was that I would not hear him say that his group is bigger than the Beatles, or that any of his artists have surpassed Elvis.
Mm,
But they'll
right,
always try and
right,
bring down Michael. And I'm
right.
like, well, what? Well, why can't you say Beyonce is bigger than the Beatles or Elvis because she's won more Grammys? Why is it that we almost decide to pull down our own and negate the success that we've done? But yeah, they wouldn't do that
Well,
to
I
us.
know, I know, yeah, I know why that is because I know why it is. That's called hatred. That's called hatred. That notice that he said that about Beyonce, and he's the only person that has said that about Beyonce. No one else spoke that. He spoke that. So because he spoke it, that makes it legit? No. Stay in your lane, Jay-Z. You're a hip hop artist. Stay right there. Don't come for anybody who isn't an R&B singer. Stay in your lane, sir.
Mm,
Stay in you're a rapper. That's what you do. You don't do what we do. So you don't know if your wife is over Michael Jackson. No one's over Michael Jackson. And we do that out of hate, out of hatred towards one another. Um, God is not about hate.
mm,
God is about love.
yeah.
We're supposed to love one another.
Mm, yeah.
Don't speak of things that are not true. That's not true. That's
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah. Did you ever go
That's
to?
not true.
Did you ever go to either the Victory or there was the Victory tour, and then what was the other one? Destiny tour. Did you ever go?
I went to the
Go?
victory tour. The the victory tour. I went to the victory tour. It was
Okay.
held here in Los Angeles, California at the Los Angeles Dodgers Stadium.
And the baseball stadium, was it packed?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was very packed.
I,
Yeah.
I, I think for those
Mm,
of us, because I've never seen the Jacksons live. Unfortunately, I've never seen Michael live because I bought tickets for his final concert in London, but
mm,
sadly he passed before we can
wow.
do it. But
Wow.
what was it like going to the Victory tour? Was this he had done Thriller, and then he had to go on the tour with his brothers, with all six of them? Was that the case?
Yeah.
So the Victory tour was like a Thriller tour plus the Victory album.
Well, I would say more so the victory the I think it was just self-titled victory because they didn't sing torture or state of shock on the tour. I mean, the songs had mass promotion on radio
Mm,
and TV and stuff like that. But as far as like them performing the songs on stage, they did like songs from um Triumph. Uh, they did the old stuff,
mm,
ABC. They did that stuff. They did stuff from Motown. Um, Michael touched on, you know, uh, on Off the Wall. He did Off the Wall. He did Rock with You. He did Billie Jean. He did Thriller. He did Beat It. Um, Jermaine did uh, Let's Get Serious.
mm.
Uh, You Like Me, Don't You? And Dynamite. Um, let's see. Yeah, so they were doing like mainly focusing on those songs, and they probably touched some stuff from like maybe Destiny and Triumph. But as far as like the Victory album, I don't remember hearing any song live from the Victory album.
Ah, okay.
But that was the
Looking,
latest album at the time.
mm, okay. I mean, looking back at all, I mean, especially growing up in California, would you say has been, um, you know, three of your best concerts that you've attended that you always look back with like, oh my goodness.
Um, I have to say the Jacksons. Um, I have to say New Edition,
Oh, which
Indie
one? Which
Heartbreak, yeah,
which tour?
Indie Heartbreak tour.
But you guys were touring around
Uh,
the same time.
yeah, but we were taking some time off, and our management had got us tickets to come to go see
Okay.
a New Edition concert. Uh, our work schedule it was heavy, but there were
Mm.
times that we had off. So those times that we had off, New Edition would come into LA from either the second, because I went to the second leg as well too. When Bobby came out and came out with the guys and did Mr. Telephone Man, and they
Oh,
did that they did it at the Forum on the second leg of the Any Heartbreak tour. And before this was before that our
who's it?
guy our big promoter Al Heyman pulled
Oh,
Bobby from that tour to do his own tour with Karen
wow.
White and Levert, and they did the Bobby Brown tour with that. So it was Karen White, Levert, Bobby Brown.
My goodness. Was the
Yeah.
Bobby was Bobby's tour bigger than any Heartbreak?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember. It was a big tour though. It was a big tour. But it's nothing like when you go see a New Edition concert. When you go see a New Edition concert, it's like they pull out all the stops. I mean, everything is big. Everything is big. Everything is big. It's major with them. It's major.
But
So
then,
to be
um,
able to see a New Edition concert, you're going to see something else that's totally different from a solo artist. I would say if you want to talk about a solo artist that had a big tour that we were on, that was Hammer. Hammer had a huge tour,
mm,
huge. It was huge,
was that the Too
and we was
Legit to
selling
Quit?
out. Nah, it was Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em.
Oh, his film. Wow, the first album.
Yeah, second album.
Oh, second album.
Yeah, second album. Yeah,
Did it have Can't Touch This and We Prayed and all that the others?
that that's the second album. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
That's that record
okay.
was that record was phenomenal. That
Can't
album
Touch
was phenomenal. The tour was phenomenal. It was the biggest selling album in hip hop. It's another reason probably why Jay-Z is upset at that. MC Hammer had the biggest sales of of an of a rapper. It is what it is. Can't change that. I mean, this
Yeah.
man sold what 30 million copies?
Hmm.
Jay-Z didn't sell 30 million copies.
Mhm.
One album, 30 million copies. MC Hammer
Mhm.
got that.
But if you on tour with Hammer and he must have had over 100 dancers.
Oh my goodness, man. Well, it was 25 dancers. It was 25 dancers. He had a band. He had a female singing group on one side of the stage. He had a male singing group on the other side of the stage. That was Special Generation. He had like three or four hammers that were going up and down. Oh man, this guy had, yeah, this was like, and we were on that tour for 5 months, man. 5 months. We saw that every day for 5 months. It was amazing.
Oh,
That was a
goodness.
huge tour. That was a huge tour.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. I remember Nitty from Rift saying that they went on tour with Vanilla Ice, and
Yeah.
that was big for them going on. But they still did not like the clean cut image that the labels had for them. They wanted to be like
Mhm.
Jodeci, and the label says, "Look, stay as this pop group," and was putting money and stuff. But they're like, "Yeah, you know what? We'd rather be like Jodeci, so no, thank you." And they got dropped, and they thought, "Okay, yeah, we'll just go to any other label because we did the movie, we're hot." And all the labels says, "No, no, if you left them, we can't take you because they got blacklisted." Um, you
Mm,
know, yeah. So I guess it's
yeah.
yeah, which is a tough one. Derek asks, do you remember Ghetto Boys in After Seven Tour 1990?
Um, we did a show in Dayton, Ohio that actually, rest in peace, Reggie booked the show with our management because he knew some people out there. And they did a show with we did a show with the Ghetto Boys and After Seven. Now we didn't have a band, and but we had tracks,
Oh.
and yeah, we did a track. So what ended up happening is that I was talking to Willie D about it not too long ago. Willie D of the Ghetto Boys, and
Mm.
he thought that it was our band. It was no, it was After Seven's equipment. It was their equipment,
Oh.
and they messed up some of their equipment on stage because I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was over. And I remember we was loving the Ghetto Boys too. We was playing the Ghetto Boys music out on our tour too. When we found out we had a show with the Ghetto Boys, we started playing some of their music. And then later on
Nice.
in life, I got later on in life, I got to be pretty good friends with Bushwick Bill, cool cat.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. They
Party
don't make.
party. Yeah, I partied with him a couple of times in Vegas. It's a cool cat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
we
don't
had a
make groups
ball.
like that. Scarface, Willie
Nah,
D,
man.
and
Nah.
Bushwick Bill.
Bad cats. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Um, I guess when you think of.
But that was Troop though. Troop always got along with rappers. We love rappers. Big Daddy Kane was a friend of ours. He was real cool. Father MC, fam. We had a lot of um a lot of good stories with those cats. LL Cool J,
Mm,
all of those cats, man. Yeah, really cool stories. And they love Troop. They love Spread My Wings. So that was big for us, That was really cool.
wait, did you ever feel being from Los Angeles, being from Southern California, if you were from the East Coast and you had the opportunity to sign to MCA, do you think Troop would have been handled differently, probably much more popular?
Yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because they were doing so much for their artists. They were
Mm,
putting money behind their artists, and the promotion behind everybody that was signed to MCA was like
mm,
everybody was blowing up. They were like another Motown
yeah.
because everybody at Motown was successful. And then you had I'm talking about even the other groups from like way back in the day from Motown had at least two, three number one records,
Mm,
you know. So imagine being a part of a label that that's what they focus is. They focus on that and marketing and promotion and spending the
mm,
dollars on their artists to making sure that those records are going number one. They're traveling all over the world and they're making money. So
mm,
it's yeah, I think that would have been, or even if we would have went to Sony, that would have been a pretty good match for
mm.
us as well too, I believe. I
But you
would say
don't think
between Sony and MCA.
Electra didn't have the kind of pulling power to really push you guys over the edge?
I don't I don't know. I don't know. You only know what's going on as far as what you see them doing for you as an artist,
Mm,
because what happens is that you start finding out that okay, it costs this much money to shoot a music video, and so they spent money on that. So that's where that even starts right there. It starts right there when you go, when you have a photo session, it's a cost for
mm,
that.
mm,
When they shoot a music video, it's a cost for that. So they're paying for everything. It just all depends on what they're paying for in your advertising. And Atlantic Records got the job done as far as paying in some of the advertising, like with BET, uh, stuff like that. Um, they paid in the advertising of radio, making sure that the songs got played. They paid in the advertising for Billboard, like for the songs to be charted. So Atlanta did what they could do, and I think they did pretty good with us because a friend of mine was telling me a story. He said, "Man, his name was Kevin Nelson." He said there were four groups. He said I got to be biased because he was working for MCA. MCA / Universal Motown, and that's all they cared about. That's all they cared about. So if you come from somewhere else, they're going to be biased. They're going to be biased because they're not working for Warner Brothers. They're not working for RCA. They're not working for Jive Records. They're working for Motown, MCA. That's who they're working for. So if he said four artists made it through, and he said I'm gonna tell you that he said, and we had to give you guys your props and love because you guys were in our backyard for one, and you guys gave it up to New Edition. You guys love New Edition, so we had to show you guys love. But there were people who made it through the crack was like Tony, I'll Be Sure, uh, it was I'll Be Sure. He said somebody else, and he said Troop. He said you guys made it through the cracks, man, because you guys had nothing to do with Motown, Universal, or you guys had nothing to do with those companies, but y'all made it through.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely. I think the reason I asked about the bias because you think of groups like Zulu, um, De Levant, and Greater
my
Rel,
buddy.
or West
Yeah, my
Coast,
buddy. Yeah,
and whether they people respected the music. I remember speaking to Serene from the Good Girls, and she said New Jack Swing, but we did Go Go, and I guess Go Go
hmm
was the West Coast version of New Jack Swing.
right.
Go Go music. Um, did you notice a difference of what Go Go was compared to say?
Yeah, the for me because I'm a drummer, I play drums. So go-go was up where it was like it had a swing to it. It had like some type of swing to it to where you always bobbed your head to it, and the actual sound of the music of go-go, it made you it made you happy as well, like what R&B did. So go-go was something that I loved and admire as well too. And if you think about it, um, If It Isn't Love had a go-go beat. So did Mamacita. Mamacita had a go-go beat as well too. Had a go-go beat.
Okay, yeah, I need
Yeah.
to. But those on the East Coast would say, "Well, no, we don't know about Go Go. We know about New Jack."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, which was definitely something quite different. What are
Yeah.
the plans going forward for yourself and the plans going forward for Troop?
Right now, I have a gospel album out that I'm a part of. This choir, Stevie Wonder's radio station, KJLH 102.3. He named the choir Radio Free Voices. We have an album out now. It's called Don't Take Your Spirit. A great gospel album. I know my mom is proud of me because I started out in gospel roots. Gospel is my roots. So now I know my mom was smiling down from heaven on me about that. It's a album, man, and it's out right now on all your digital downloads. Radio Free Voices Don't Take Your Spirit. I still, I got singles out there that you guys can look up. The Love Section, which is from a movie called The Love Section. My single girlfriend that actually did pretty good overseas. It went number 9 on R&B soul charts and overseas in London. And I have my other single, Cover Girl, and I Wanna Fly Away, and this lovely duet that I have with a Los Angeles friend of mine, singer. Her name is Brooklyn James. That's I Love LA and Fragile. So you guys can look at all those songs on your digital downloads, iTunes, Amazon, all that stuff. I can't forget about my tribute to Luther, Never Too Much. Yeah, I'm going to do some more Luther in the future too. Yeah.
Okay. If people wanted to follow you on social media, where can they search?
They can look me up on JonJon's solo project. Finally, on Facebook. That's JonJon's solo project. Finally, Team JonJon also too on Facebook. They can follow me on Instagram, JonJon Harreld on Instagram. That's JonJonHarreld on Instagram. You can email me, JonJohn of TROOP at yahoo.com. Look up
Okay.
your boy, J Jizzle John
Okay.
John.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, um, when you watch, you just see how you guys put your heart and soul in your performances, not just on videos, but even when you performed on Arsenio, you're like, you guys really worked really hard. Um, and then I guess when you're trying to go on tour now, some of those moves, I remember Ex-Girlfriend watching them backflips and stuff, and now they're those things you don't. The mind might still be, but the body is like, okay, I don't think we can do that split or backflip.
Yeah.
Do you feel as if that part of the strength was to be able to do some of those assessments, but I think some of the disadvantage is. I guess some of the disadvantage is that as you're getting older, some of those kind of moves that you guys, you did the what's that? Is it the worm or the snake?
Yeah.
Where you
The
did spread
kick
my wings.
worm. Yeah, that was a
The
kick
kick
worm.
worm
Yeah.
that you did on Arsenio. I mean, how many of you guys can do it right now if you on tour?
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Depending on the price. Depending on the price. Depending on the price. There's a charge. Yesterday's price is not today's
Okay.
price.
Taste right.
Yeah.
When you get called by promoters to come and perform, do they stipulate that they want you to do certain songs or certain dance routines?
No, they stipulate the minutes on stage more so than anything else. They stipulate the minutes. But I tell you who's very stickler for it. That's overseas. I mean, and they name songs that they want you to do that wasn't even a single. I got some information on somebody wants us to do some overseas, like in three places, like Paris. It said Paris, and it said like 2 or 3 other places that are overseas, and they named songs on the list like Kicking It With My Music. I was like, huh? They want us to do that song? Yeah, stuff like that. It's like, wow, okay. Yeah, so yeah, they're stickler for what. Okay, we want y'all to do 30 minutes, but we want this song in the show. And it's like, wow.
Okay.
And then what I also saw that even all I do is think of you wasn't on there, but I will always love you was on there. But all I do
Mm,
is think of you wasn't on the list. I was like, wow. So yeah, they're sticking for what they want. Yeah,
mm, my goodness. Um, I mean, so guys, just it's been great time, JonJon. I mean, we started off reflecting on, the past of Tito and
yeah,
D'Angelo. Um,
yeah,
just it just seems like a real sad time with all these legends passing by, and not being able to celebrate them while they well, you keep trying to celebrate them while they're alive, not waiting to when they're dead that everyone comes out with the woodworks. Um, but yeah, it is something that we always have to look back and appreciate what they brought
yeah,
to us. Even
yeah.
Tito being, the father of 3T.
I'm glad that Tito did 2 solo albums. I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. I have both of them. They're great albums to me. So I'm glad that he at least left us with those two.
Mm, yeah, yeah. It's probably the most well, after Michael and Janet, probably the most recognized person in the Jackson.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, but and that's because people have done their homework. They know that without him breaking that guitar string, history wouldn't have been made.
mm, mm, yeah, definitely. Um, Guys, want to thank JonJon for joining us. Came live. Check out his new music. I saw you singing "Silent Prayer" with Shanice. How did that come
Yeah.
about?
That was my bucket list. I've always wanted to sing that with her. Yeah, I have a friend of mine that's a doctor in optometry. His name is Alex, and what he did was he throws a party every year where he lives at. He throws a party. He threw a party for his wife this time, and what ended up happening is that uh, he did he did a party for his wife. A party for his wife. And
Mm.
what ended up happening is that he said that Shanice was going to come to his party, and I lit up. I was like, really? He said, yeah. He said, man. So I told him, I said, my bucket list is to sing Silent Prayer with her. He was like, are you kidding me? I was like, nah, man. I've always wanted to do that with her. I said, I've talked to her about it before. I said, man, this would be great. So he went on and got on the horn and talked to her, and she was like, "John's coming." He was like, "Yeah, John's coming." So she was like, "Okay, great, we'll do it, we'll do it." So yeah, it happened, man. It was really good.
Okay.
I was happy about that.
Yeah.
I was very happy about that.
Filling in for Johnny Gill there.
My bro, it's one of
Filling
my
in.
vocal teachers, JG. Yeah, he is.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Well, John, it has been great. I appreciate the fact, taking time out of your busy day out in the West Coast to join me live. Guys, look out for Troop,
yes, yes.
Steve and
We're
Alan and
performing.
Rodney.
Yeah, we'll be performing in Orinda, California with Color Me Bad on the 30th of August. No, no, on the 30th of October this month. 30th of October,
Mhm.
then November the 29th, we'll be in South Philly, doing 2 shows in South Philly. December the 30th, we'll be in Falmouth, Massachusetts. And that's December the 30th. Falmouth, Massachusetts, December 30th. Check out Troop like a pre-show before New Year's Eve. So check
Mm.
it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely. And then, as I said, you can always follow JonJon on social media or the group Troop. and just to be able to keep in touch with that, because as JonJon has shown, the different shows that they're going to be doing as well. So on the website, you should have access to that.
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
guys, for those who were watching and taking part, Bokos DC, Derek, Anthony Hall, and everyone who comes, Katrina, out in Brazil, sorry, not Brazil, Portugal.
Portugal.
So
Wow.
yes, everyone comes from all all over the place and stuff.
Portugal.
But anyway, we want to thank you guys for showing us love this evening, especially for JonJon. And
Thank you guys
check
for
out
tuning in.
Troop.
Thank you.
Check out Troop in a city near you. As John says, they're still able to do I'm Not Souped and Spread Your Wings and Attitude. They can still do all the moves and everything. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So guys, we appreciate it. Anyway, so I'm just gonna say bye to everyone, and we'll catch you at a different time. Yes, Sunday, guys, we're doing Invoke's Funky Diva countdown this Sunday live, so you can get your top 10. Yes. All right, John. Take care.
All right, you too, man. Peace.
Take care. All right. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me.
No. Okay.
They don't understand what Jonas' boys win in all spirits.
Play it.